Hey guys, how you doing? Scott here from scottsbaselessons.com, and today I've got a great lesson for you where I'm going to show you a couple of cool tricks of how to set your posture when you're sitting down. Obviously, a lot of us practice while we're sitting down, and there's a few real, key things that you need to take into consideration when you're doing that, and a couple of cool tricks as well. So it'll help you move up and down the fretboard a little easier than if you're. Well, I'll tell you all about it in the lesson. This lesson is directly from the Definitive Beginner's Guide to Bass Guitar, which is a course from the Academy over at Scott's Bass Lessons. If you haven't heard of the Academy before, just hit the link below the lesson after you've watched it and go check it out. It's a really great place to be. We've got tons of step-by-step courses, and we've also got live seminars happening every week with guys like me, Anthony Wellington, Steve Lawson, Ed Friedland, Danny Mo Morris. I've forgotten a ton of people, but yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff going on there. Hit the link below after the lesson and check it all out. So other than that, take it easy and I'll see you in the shed.
So this is my standard sitting posture, okay? And there's a few key elements that I want to talk to you about. Okay, the first is the height of what you're sitting on, okay? Many of us, including myself I still get sent to the bedroom to practice sometimes, especially when the wife's watching a film, go and practice. So, get out, stop making noise when I'm watching this film, she says. So, you want to make sure that you're sitting on something that keeps your legs at a 90-degree angle. So if you're sitting on something that's too high, your leg will be at this kind of angle, and again, too low, this kind of angle. Okay, this is the foot here, and this is the leg and the thigh here. So you want it to be at a 90-degree angle. And again, keep the shoulders relaxed, the back straightish, not hunched over like this, no weird and wonderful sort of like positions. And again, sometimes it really helps to check yourself out in the mirror when you're playing, just to make sure that you're not, sort of like leaning over in any weird positions, because it's easier to do when you're not actually looking at yourself. So maybe get a mirror and just check out your posture while you're sitting practicing. Another thing is the way that the bass sits on your body. Now, I prefer to practice with my bass on my right leg. Okay, so right leg here. And when I'm playing, what I'm making sure is the bass is not like this onto my body, okay? It's not straight. It's more, if here's right across my body, it's more at a 45-degree angle, actually. So it's like this. So if here was a box like that, okay, it's going from corner to corner across that box, okay, the box being here. Yeah, it's not here and it's not here either. So corner to corner across that box. And if you see here, one corner to the other corner. And it just makes it easy for your left hand, or you might be left-handed, so your right hand, but your fretting hand, it makes it easy that you can move up and down the neck, whereas if you're flat here, your arms tucked in too much. You want a nice bit of movement, a nice bit of space under here, and obviously, again, relaxed. You've got to stay relaxed when you're doing this thing. With the right hand, what you want to make sure is that you're not too bent, okay? You'll see a lot of bass players when they're playing have an extreme bend in their wrist, and if I show you there, this is not healthy. Remember, we're going to be moving our fingers like this. The tendons are running through a bone in the wrist and down. So if your hand's like this, in this extreme position here, just imagine it. I'm just going to turn the volume up like this. Like that. The tendons are actually, they're getting dragged over. If that was the bone, the tendons are moving back and forward over that bone. And, a few years of that is going to cause damage. So what you want to do is have a lesser angle, a less extreme angle. I still like to have a little bit of an angle, but it's more like this type of, it's a natural angle. It's not this, it's kind of like relaxed like that. And my wrist's really relaxed, there's no tension in it. Okay, it's nice and relaxed, there's no tension in it. So remember, get your base positioned correctly, the height of your seat positioned correctly, so you've got that 90-degree angle, and so your wrist isn't too bent when you're playing. I'm going to talk about more about this in the right hand technique video, but just make sure that everything is nice and relaxed and positioned correctly. Another position that some people like is to actually take the bass and play it more central like this. And this is more of a classical guitar technique. They rest it on the inner thigh of this leg, and then obviously, and the benefits of this are it keeps the right hand straight, or the plucking hand really straight. If you can see there's almost no bend in it at all. But for me, maybe it's because I have played for a few thousand hours with it, you know, on the other leg. This feels a little bit uncomfortable for me, and the neck's a little bit too far back. But remember, if you're just starting off or you haven't been playing for a while, this might be a great position for you to try out, because it is a really nice natural position, and it also keeps that wrist straight on your right hand. Again, if you do use this position, make sure that the back's nice and straight and there's no weird tension and, you know, sort of like hunches anywhere. Get a mirror, check yourself out, or get somebody to film you while you're playing as well, because it can really highlight some areas that you need to work on or kind of sort of like iron out. So hopefully this lesson has given you a little bit of an insight into how you're going to keep your posture really nice, relaxed, and, you know, ready for the next level. So hopefully this lesson has given you a little bit of an insight into how to keep and have a nice clean posture. So not only will you can progress with your bass playing a little bit easier without sort of like weird technicalities getting in your way, but also you won't have any health issues or back issues or any of that kind of thing that can come if your posture isn't correct.